The greatest population shift in the history of mankind is taking place right now from small towns into big cities. And when we say big cities, we're not talking about Farmington, we're not talking about Grand Junction. We're talking about Shanghai, Mexico City, London, Chicago, New Delhi, Cairo. Big cities, skyscrapers. They are leaving our towns and our communities throughout the world, not just here. And it's not just a marketing ploy that PGIM put, the data backs it up. The World Bank tracks the global economy, the GDP, and two indicators: agriculture is primarily a rural economy, services primarily as an urban economy. What you can see since 1994 is agriculture has fallen from about 8% of the world's GDP to less than 4%. And at the same time, services has risen from 61 to 65% over that 20 years. It doesn't sound like a big increase in services until you think about the fact that the whole global economy has been growing over this time period. And when you put this into dollar figures, agriculture is worth now almost $1 trillion less than it was 22 years ago to the global economy. It's not just shrinking in terms of GDP, it's shrinking in percentage, it's shrinking in terms of a dollar base. Services has doubled in 22 years. That's the urban shift in the numbers. That is the challenge we face as small towns and small cities, is the relevancy of our economies to the globe and to the world. So how do you stay relevant? How does your small town or your small city stay relevant in the face of this kind of economic pressure that we're seeing throughout the world? There's a lot to unpack in what I'm about to say, but I just want to kind of do a top of the line over the next few minutes. I think there's three things every small town and small city should think about. I think they should think about it in this order, and there's a reason for doing so, and it's going to sound simple, but let's unpack it just a little bit as we go through it. To be a successful small town or a small city or a region in a rural area, the first thing you need to do is give people a reason to stop in your town. Then, you need to give people a reason to live in your town. And finally, last, not first, but last, you give people a reason to work in your town. That may sound weird coming from an economic developer, that's not where you should start your focus, but we'll unpack this a little bit to understand why I think this is the process that helps make small towns successful.